This is planet Earth. It's a world in peril, a world where anything is possible. It's a world where a small group of people can make a huge difference. As we take a closer look at this pale blue dot, we find a little corner where a group of students works towards the radical notion that we should put our money where our mouths are, and that the time has come to divest from fossil fuels, for the sake of the planet, and more importantly, for each other. Though the movement for divestment from fossil fuels can trace its roots to the historic opposition to apartheid in South Africa, it was only 2 years ago that a campus student group was formed within the UMass Center for Education and Policy Advocacy, which was dedicated to empowering and engaging students with issues of climate justice and opposition to the university system's policy of investment in fossil fuels. The UMass Student Campaign for Divestment was born. I first heard about the group through social media, and after attending my first meeting in October, I knew that I'd found not only a great case study, but an important cause. People showed up to divestment meetings for a wide variety of reasons. Some came because their classes required them to pick a community service project. Some came out of sheer curiosity, and many wanted to learn more about what climate change meant for them. The following includes a few creative artist renditions of some students' reasons for their involvement in a divestment campaign.
I'm here because I like spending time in nature.
Climate change is an inevitable problem, and it's spiraling out of control.
Climate change is not going to affect one person, but it will affect everyone.
Why am I here? To fight the man!
Climate change is the biggest existential threat to my life.
I'm here to learn about environmental issues.
It's our moral responsibility.
Climate justice is the big thing. It includes issues of race, class, and gender.
The group meetings proved both dynamic and exciting, with a diverse group of members, an all-female leadership team, and a clear set of goals and strategies, not only for promoting divestment from fossil fuels on campus and within the administration, but for escalating and confrontational tactics in the face of opposition and outright contempt from the administration and university board of trustees. The university endowment represents over $750 million, some 2 to 4% of which is invested in fossil fuels. This is $15 to $30 million contributing to climate change. And while this number is a drop in the bucket for fossil fuel companies, for the UMass Divest organizers, it is a number that is simply unacceptable. It raises questions of justice and equity and the university's values, because climate change disproportionately affects communities of disadvantage throughout the world. As a new ethnographic researcher, I was specifically interested in the frames, language, and learning which took place in this type of group setting, how complex issues of global climate and equity were communicated, both within and outside of the group, and whether certain knowledge was seen as implicit or explicitly discussed, whether learning was seen as an important part of joining and participating in the group. Over time, I also became more interested in group dynamics and the parallel structures of hierarchical and democratic group decision-making. I took a grounded theory approach to my research, attending a handful of meetings before forming my research questions. I thought it was important to get involved with the group as a participant before undertaking any research project, in order to better understand where they were coming from and where they wanted to go. After a series of setbacks over the past few years, the group was ramping up its organizing for a meeting and rally on December 10th. They were finally going to confront the Board of Trustees on the issue of divestment. The group has been given 3 minutes to speak before the Board of Trustees meeting. They're seeking a definitive yes or no answer, rather than the non-committal nods of support they've received from the Chancellor and campus sustainability managers. My early findings are in some ways expected and in other ways surprising. I found that communication was key. For the group to reach others, effective communication tactics have proven paramount. Leadership is also important, guiding not only strategic goals and tactics for the group, but facilitating in-group learning. And as a sort of marketing strategy, it became important for Divest UMass to take advantage of other events on campus and off, in addition to connecting climate change to other issues important to people. One thing is for sure, Divest UMass is not alone. Organizations as diverse as the Rockefeller Foundation, the Unitarian Church, and Stanford University have recently committed to divestment from fossil fuels, and hopefully by extension, investment in our future.
Created using Powtoon.